Alright guys, this is Jared of Triple D Farms. Today's Tuesday, July 15th. So I wanted to show this product. So I do beef cows. Alright. We had as many as 45, 50 head total when my wife Rachel got sick. And when she got sick with cancer there, I decided I needed to cut back. We didn't really know how things were going to go for her, going to have to go to treatments and all kinds of things like that. So I sold as many beefers as I could get on the truck on New Year's Day, 2024. So, then of course she passed away, 10 days later, January 11th. But, so we raised beefers and gotten into the thing where, we raise a few steers and we have them butchered locally and we sell some locally to friends and family by the pound, by hanging weight. So one of the things that I have trouble with is if I don't catch my bulls quick enough, they get a little bigger. So I have the banders. I have the regular little Cheerio bander, and then I have two different sizes of the tri-banders. But this one steer that I have, I tried to steer him, he's a bull right now. I tried to band him, I think maybe May. So a couple months ago, I could not get, his testicles down through the tri-bander. Even one, usually you can get one at a time, work them down through there. I couldn't do that. He's not that old. He's just coming to, I think. But he just has a pretty good set of testicles there. So I've been looking at getting one of these bigger banders for a while. And I finally decided to bite the bullet because I got to get him banded. I want to get him banded and give him like 60, 70, 90 days, whatever, to be banded as a steer before his butcher date in November. So I decided to buy this Callicrate bander. This is the Pro bander. So this thing can band bulls up to 3,000 pounds. So it can take a pretty good size set of testicles and band them. I bought a California bander, which is you hold it in your hand and you stretch the bander out, and I could not get that. I could not figure out how to get it to work for him. I don't have any experience using it. I don't know if I did it wrong or whatever, but you have to hold it in your hand and pull it around and re-clip it back into itself. I just found that extremely difficult to do. I could not get the band to easily stretch to do it. I could stretch it, but I could not. If I could stretch it, I could not hook it. And if I hooked it, that meant I didn't stretch it far enough to get it around there and pull it tight. So I bought this. So this one, it's expensive. It's $350. And this is actually the Pro bander, and they actually have, the video that I saw was not the same one. They actually have changed it since the video, and I think it's pretty cool. So you can do small bulls with it or big bulls. So this is what we got. This is the unboxing. All right. So there's pretty much the instruction pictures right there. Got your dummy, and that's pretty much how to do it. So it comes with a hat. It's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that at all. This is, like I said, it's $350. Comes with 5 bands and the bander tool. And the only thing the bander is, it's pretty good size. It's pretty heavy. And a hammer, it's heavier than a hammer. I don't know if it's, it might be 24, might be almost 2 pounds. It's pretty good little unit. But it works on a ratchet. And it's actually upside down. This is the way it goes. All right. So we'll see if we can get the camera to sit. I'm just outside messing around. Got the 4-wheeler. So see if we can get this camera to sit somewhere. A little breeze. See if we can show you a little bit about it here. Get this camera. Pull it up a little bit. Tip it forward a little bit. Just going to set the camera on the gas tank, see if it works. All right, that was pretty good. All right, so you take the bander, it's got a ratchet on it. This is the new feature. So this is a new one. This is called the Pro. I guess they just changed the design. They didn't really give it a new name. It's the Pro Bander. But this is your automatic cutter. So you get your band back there, and then you smack that, and these cutters come up and cut the band. It's very important with this one that you cut it with a lot of tension. And it came with 5 bands. I already messed around with one just to practice. So that's what I do. You know what? That one in there, it actually got a spot in it. Huh. Well, that one does too. Guess they're welded. So you take this, it's got this little nose piece right here, and you stick that through, and I don't think it matters upside down or right side up, and you just kind of clips on the end there, and you take and pull that through, and you take this ratchet. That was the only thing that I didn't really quite understand about it was, and maybe there's a different way to do it, but I didn't see, like, there's not a release for the ratchet, which is kind of nice because if you're using it to band, you know, you wouldn't want it to accidentally go back. So then you just take it and you ratchet this down and you pull some of that tension. And then you take this and put your fingers through there. There's a couple different ways to do it. This is the only thing I don't like about it. It's a little awkward right now. And you take this and you open that up with your hand however you want to, and you pull the testicles down through, and then once you get them down through, you just take, see how it flipped over, you just take and ratchet this down, and it's going to pull the rubber through this loop back here, and then when you get it back there tight enough, it has a tension indicator right there. You tighten it back until this ring is back to that tension indicator, and then you smack the cutter from the bottom and it cuts it and you're done. So it's pretty cool. You know, it's what they call bloodless bander. Any luck today, we're going to give this thing a shot. I got, you know, the steer's right outside. I got some feed. Last time I had him in the chute, he was very easy to work with. I mean, I sat there and messed with him and tried to get the band on him for probably, I'll bet 15 minutes. And he did not, you know, he was fine. He was not real excited. He was very cooperative. But I just could not get the tri-bander on him. I could not get I guess maybe I tried it twice. I guess I tried the tri-bander, couldn't do that. Got the California bander. The California bander is not very expensive at all. It's just awkward. I wish that these bands here would almost work with it. I wish it would have had a loop already, and then you just snug the loop tight. That's actually what I thought you did with the California bander, but I was very shocked that you actually have to pull it around and clip it back in that clip. So that wasn't for me. But the video I watched for that was a guy that had goats, and he loved it. It worked great for goats. I don't know if it just was me or what. You know, and the thing is, when you're working and you got them in the chute and you're down on your knees and things anyway, you're not exactly in the best, you know, strongest position for yourself, you know. But pretty cool. It came with a hat. Kind of funny. I don't know, it's kind of funny. It's pretty cool. It came with a hat. But, you know, $350, yeah, you ought to give you something free. Nice instructions in there. So we're going to put this away, and we will see if we can get him in there and band him. So we're going to go in and feed the cows, and we'll see if we can get him band. We're going to do another video about my setup now. I'm looking really hard. So I did a video a while ago about my chute, and I had, you know, just kind of a makeshift chute. I have an old chute that actually was made, homemade, you know, it doesn't have anything auto-locking. It's real hard to run by yourself. But with a no backstop, it makes it a little easier because they at least can't back out of the way, and you get like, you can just keep trying until you finally get their head in there. But sometimes they're a little worked up by that, and then you're a little worked up by that time. But I'm really looking at getting a pre-fert squeeze chute. It's funny, there's a couple dealers around. The closest dealer is like 13 miles away. I emailed them. They have them in stock. I'm looking at the SO4, which is like the the Cadillac. It's got a few nicer features with it than the Rancher. It's probably worth the extra money just because it makes it a little bit easier for me. You can do a little bit more with it. But man, it's the darndest thing that the next closest dealer is actually Runnings, which Runnings is, kind of, a box store. And Runnings is actually $600 cheaper than it's like it's a feed store, a local store. I'd love to buy off the local guy, So I emailed him back and I said, hey, you're just like $600 more than Runnings. Is there anything you can do to, for the price, or would you deliver it for free or something like that? And they didn't respond back. I don't know. They're probably pissed off maybe. But it does suck. $600. I don't really want to tell you the truth. I really don't care I'd like to have one delivered. I don't really feel like going and picking one up. But the other thing with Runnings is they don't have the accessories to go with it. They Prefer has the alley sweeps and the alley panels and the no back stops and all that. Runnings has some of that stuff, but not all that stuff. Whereas your local feed store, if they don't have it, they'll probably get it for you. Whereas Runnings, I don't know if they will order something that's not normally something that they would stock. But we're going to go in and we'll see if we can catch this guy. We'll do another video. We'll talk about the shoot setup, and we'll talk about that more. Hopefully we'll have a video here pretty soon where we're going to get that prefert here, because it just makes it easier for myself. I do it all by myself. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want the cows to get hurt, but I do want to take better care of them. And a squeeze chute definitely will help you take better care of them. And the Prefert SO4 is adjustable for smaller animals. So is a Rancher. The SO4 is just easier to adjust. I'm not a real big guy, when it comes to pushing gates in and out and things like that. But so it would enable, and the tailgate on it actually adjusts, and that makes it easier for you to work smaller ones through it. But we're going to go in, we'll see if we can catch this one, and then we'll have the end of this video where we actually try the bander out on the steer. All right, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so it worked out just like I wanted. I came in here, and this guy, he walked right up in the chute. So I had a little trouble getting this. So this is my homemade chute. All right, it's manually locking with like the saw teeth. So you gotta slam it, and it was stuck the first time, and I went to try to push it shut, and I couldn't do it. I have to go around. There's like a lever. You gotta lift up the lever of the sawtooth and get it started. And it took me, I'm sweating. It's hot. It took me 2-3 times to get him so he'd line up. He stuck his head through the side here and tuck his head through that side there. So this is actually made so you let him go out the side. It works. The problem is that there's just too many holes. And there's no squeeze, there's no tailgate, there's no nothing. So he's in here. I got my bander. Hopefully we're gonna be able to get this bander on him. We'll see. So maybe I'll show this video, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get the crap kicked out of me. Maybe I won't. The mama cow there's a mama cow. I don't know if you can see that right there. Mama cow kicked me right here in my phone, which is my pocket. When I tried to push, there was 3 cows, and he was behind them, and I tried pushing him up in here, and she kicked me, but he didn't do anything. So we're gonna see if we can get him banded. If we can get this stretched out big enough to get on there without getting kicked. I just gotta get stretched far enough, just like the video. Can't get it to, hard to see and get it open. Far enough here. There's one. There we go. I keep going back up inside. There's one. There we go. That's exactly why I bought this. Exactly why. Got them on there. And we're gonna ratchet it down. I don't think the tension working right, but something ain't right with the clip. Can't tell if it's one side broke, so that must be what happened. I tried it at home on a bottle. Maybe this ain't gonna work. They're like welded or something. I had a little spot that was you get the tension because it's only so one side broke, so hopefully that's going to be tight enough. And it broke, so that's the problem. The band is the band's got a bad spot in it, and it broke, and I see that in the package. But I thought that was the way they were all made. I don't know. We'll have to... Wow, it sucks. I got it on there. So one side broke. And that's because of that mark right there, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to try again. They're all the same. Stretched the heck out of it. But it just didn't... one side came undone before the other. So I'm going to have to try again. I don't know if it's the bands. See if I can break that with my hand. Might be that these are old. Old bands. I don't know. I bought more bands, but I didn't bring them with me. So now I'm wondering if I, these were sitting around in the package. Oh my gosh, is it hot. Wondering if these are sitting around in the package and they're dry rotted. We'll give one more. I don't think I brought the other bands with me. So we'll give it one more try. And then if this one don't work, we'll go get that other package. That's kind of dumb if they dry rotted. I'll be happy I bought more though. There's one. It's really easy to stretch. It really is. I think it's going this time. You start to get uncomfortable. There we go, just like that. Bang. We got him. That's pretty cool. So I think that one was just dry rotted, which I tried at home on a bottle, which I realize a bottle isn't exactly perfectly ideal to try it on, but it broke the one at home. So we got him. He got the band on there. He's a little uncomfortable now, He feels like he just got kicked in the nuts. We'll show you. Get behind him here. That's pretty awesome there. So anyway, here we go. You see the band way up there, about 1 to 2 inches above the nuts. It's about right in the spot. Not too close to his belly. There you go, just like that. So, I mean, he's got a pretty good set of nuts on him. Well, he's good to go. He ain't too, he's not too feisty. He's pretty cooperative, actually. So, see if I get my camera set up here real quick. I love that cutter. I mean, so before they wanted to use a cutter kind of like a cutter for cutting off tags, and you had to reach in there and pull it across. Got me swearing. They wanted to reach, and you had to reach across and cut. They said, well, cut both at the same time. Well, with a knife blade or whatever, no matter how it's designed, you can't cut both at the same time. So what this does is it stretches this out right over top of the cutter. And you just pop the cutter from the bottom and it comes up. And they're stretched out. So they got a lot of tension. They're real small and they fit down in there. And then you just hit that cutter, bang, it comes up and it cuts them. The only thing I didn't understand was what this piece was for. But there you go. That's your Callicrate Pro Bander, made in the USA. I know a lot of people are big on made in the USA. I am too. But you know what? The US does not make every product. So there you go. So now the other problem I have with this shoot is he's got to come out the side. So you have to let him out of his head, let him have his head. He's got to back up, and then he's going to come out the side, and I'm going to open up that gate, let him go. So that's, whereas if I had to shoot, he'd be fine. He's feeling a little bit sore now. So we're going to let him out this gate right here. So happy got him banded. So he has and then I have to make sure he doesn't come back and try to run me over. So he's got a date, November 3rd is his butcher day. Around here it's a little hard to get butcher days. I think that first band definitely was dry rotted. Or the clip wasn't set right or something, I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what. So the one video they show you how to stick your hand through the band a certain way, but that band is stretchable enough. You can put your hand on there any way you want to, as long as you get it so the band's not twisted. Maybe that's what happened the first time. Maybe it's twisted, but as long as you get the band so that the band's not twisted, it's gonna tension fine. So I actually just pulled it. At one time I had my fingers in both sides and just went like that, and I got one down through it, and then I got the other one down through, that's how I do it with the tri-bander. A lot of times I would do a tri-bander, calves that are, 6-8 months old, they're a little bigger. You can't get both of them even with a tri-bander. So it worked pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So I got 4 or 5 more out there that are smaller. I do have my big bull that I thought about doing, but I'm probably not going to. But I do have 4 or 5 smaller ones out there. But what I did was I didn't even close the gate. This barn is not even locked in. I got him in the right position. He walked right down through the chute. So the rest of them all took off, went outside. So, for me by myself, I'm willing to catch one at a time and do them if I can, especially with the setup that I have right now. I'm fine with that. It worked out good. So I gotta let him have his head. He's gonna back up, hit the no stop, and then he's gonna come forward and come out of here. So we're gonna open this right up for him. These have these like little levers, but if they push on them, it can be hard to open. We're gonna let him have his head, and then he's gonna go back. His head's a little bit big. Then we're gonna get back here behind him, and he's gonna go out. I mean, it works. My thing is, for me by myself, it's just a little bit too much to do, where you get a nice, pre-fert shoot. A guy on this side can do everything. You can run the tailgate, you can run the head gate, you can put the head gate on auto. You don't have to worry about opening up just a little door. Hard part ahead, I could have gotten a video, but hard part ahead when catching him was see, it catches right there. It's got a bad, it's just, I don't know if it's rusted or what, but it's just a piece of steel, and it sits right there, and it was sitting there, and so it's sitting like right there, I think, and from the side, first time I couldn't do that. So I think maybe once it probably was rusted right there. Once it gets shined up a little bit, I was always gonna, this is a homemade chute. It works. And if you don't have it big enough, then they try to put their head over here. I was always gonna block this part off. But if you have it like this, where it's just big enough, they put their head up here and go in. They try to put their head down there. So I like it to sit right there where it's not hitting at all. I guess that's what you need to do, is put it right there. So that's not too bad. But I'm looking forward to getting a real shoot. This is a real shoot, but I'm looking forward to getting something better. A lot of guys around here, they have tartar. There's a couple of different tartar dealers right here close. And of course, Tractor Supply sells tartar. And I looked at tartar and I watched videos, and I looked at Prefert and I watched videos. I looked at Powder River, Aeroquip. They're all, I think the Prefert infinite locking system, and the fact that it is a lifetime warranty, and they use the infinite locking system on the squeeze part, the locks up top. There's a lock on each side of the head gate. So there's actually 3 infinite locking systems on it. They're all lifetime warranty. That alone, beats out, for me, beats out tartar. Aeroquip is just real expensive. I'm sure they have their good stuff, but they're like almost twice the money, I just watched a video where a guy had a Prefert, and it's sitting outside, and he's like, well, the lock up top, which locks the squeeze part, it failed, and he just called them and told them what his problem was, and they sent him one. He paid shipping, and he got a new lock, and he changed it in about 10 minutes. I like that. I like Prefert's alleys and alley sweeps and all that too better than I like tartar. But I'm really hoping I get somebody to deliver me one, because I don't really feel like going to get one. And to be honest with you, I don't really have time to do that either. I will if I have to. But so we're going to make this a longer video. We'll just show you what we got. So this is my chute that I have now. I know I did a video a while ago. So this is what I have now. So this is my, it's actually home chute. I think a Mennonite company or welder made it. It works pretty good. It actually has, so all 4, when it came, it actually, all 4 of these small gates open, so you can open up a back gate or front gate or whatever. I put a piece of plywood in there to make a blind side, so they wouldn't mess with that side, because I'm like, in my situation, I would never open that side anyway. And that made a world of difference. And then this one is actually tied and fastened so it won't open. I did have a cow, or I guess maybe the calf, came in here and just reamed on this thing and popped it off the hinges. I forget how exactly they did it, but they did it. With young weanlings or whatever, anything's possible. They think they're unbelievable. So it has this bar here. Came with this. That is to go across the back. You're supposed to put that in there in the back, and then it has a pin. So you can see on the other side it's slotted, and on this side it's got holes, and you're supposed to use a pin. And I never liked that. For one thing, it was kind of low. So I have a no back, so it's actually a tartar no back stop, and it works good. The only thing I don't like about the no back stops is you got to put it midpoint. So like this one here, I would actually prefer, in this situation with this chute, I'd actually prefer it to be up farther to keep them up in the chute, but it worked. I mean, he slammed it. See where he scratched the paint. What's the Tartar? These are Tartar heavy duty panels. 10 footers. Now, price wise, the Tartars are more than Preferred. These are actually painted. Preferreds are powder coated. So I just have these panels. They go together with pins. The Preferred ones go together with chains. You know, the pins, you can see how the pin has this much slop. Now on the other side, I use pipe clamping, and I actually fasten it to that beam, to the beams, just to hold it from shaking. If you had the alley things, we call them, I don't even know what we call them, alley frames. Again, I think that with the Tartar, the alley frame would go right here, and this pin would actually lock in your alley frame, would be probably right here, and your alley frame would lock in there. This pin would lock your alley frame, so that would give you the stability side to side. But the Preferred ones I'll do with chains, and you can get them a lot, I think from what I've seen in the videos anyway, you can get them a lot tighter. Then I just have this gate in there, and this works. I mean, this is kind of, so the biggest thing with cows is a lot of times they try to go back to where they came from. That's why your 180 degree sweep, your 135 degree sweep, your 90 degree sweep, that's why they all work so well. So this gate is just in here tied with baler twine. Nothing special, just to extend that side so that this gate could swing over. And then I have the chain so I can hook this gate. Camera blacked out on me. So you just hook this real quick, and just so it's hooked. And then I just use these gates. So I don't remember, the last video's been a while. So this is a heavy duty bull gate, and it actually will swing over and hit the wall if the stuff behind it's clean. The cows are in here, got up in here and made a mess. And then this is a 10-foot heavy duty gate now. So the way I have it set up right now, and this is probably the way I'm going to keep it, I'd like to get a Preferred sweep, a 90 or 135 or 180 sweep. I think they all will fit in here. Got to clean this barn out. Skid steer won't run. So I just have a corral panel. It's actually, right now it's just tied to that post over there. Another corral panel. Can it go back that way like a triangle, and then I have this gate which I can swing shut, so I can put them up in here, and I can hook that gate, and then I have my area, and you push them and they go right around there real good, because they're like, hey, that's a, they recognize that that's going the opposite way that you're pushing them. And then if you have to, you swing this gate over and this gate over, right, and latch them, and you have a holding area right there. Okay, but if you don't have to, you can have this gate over. What I want to do is extend the chute just a little bit and have the chute entrance be right about here, so that when you swing this gate over this far, then it's just like extending the chute. So then it's like, oh, there. And then that green gate there would actually be at a little bit different angle, and then we go right down. So if you get them over in this part, it works really well. The problem I have right now is actually for the barn, they ripped it off. They ripped it off in the winter, and it's on there. It's okay now, but I actually bought a heavy duty one. I don't even see that. So I have that little gate that's just up there with a couple of chains. And then the 16-foot gate, which is in shape, is actually right through there, and you can swing that over. So the opening's actually like 18 feet. So I did buy a heavy duty bull gate that would fit there, but I'm gonna have to use a tractor or something, pick it up, carry it in there and hang it. But I want to get the barn cleaned out. Skid steer won't run. I'm gonna go mess with the skid steer right now, but I think we'll go out here a second and look at something real quick. I mean, this works. You know, it is way better than nothing. You know, when we used to rope them and tie them and fight them and tackle them and everything else. My dad did all that. And just a rough way to do things, you know. But it worked, you know. That kind of thing is it's all mindset. So I'm gonna clean this all out. The original barn, I guess, came out to this wall. It's actually a poured concrete wall. So I want to clean this all out, and I want to extend this out and make it so that this is like a corral. And because the way the barn's set up with the pen in the back, it's not quite big enough to get them all in there easily. They're, you know, they start feeling a little bit trapped. So I want to do that, and I want to make it so my shit used to sort them out. And up there where all these weeds are somewhere, I want to have a pen where I can hold them. I'd like to put my steers up there and do some, you know, fatten them up, which will probably catch that one that we just banded. We'll probably catch him in a little while, a week or so, and we'll start trying to fatten him up. Must be the trough ran over, as usual. Well, there's my cows out there. I'll just show you from here. Actually, I'm checking the electric fence a little bit. So there's my cows out there. And we got 13 adults. About 20 altogether, 21. 13 adults, 7 or 8 little ones. So we're trying to get electric all the way around. I ran it around the outside of these posts, and I just wanted to check to see if it was still hooked up. And it looks like it is. I thought maybe they would have ripped it down by now. I just want to. So they were in here in the winter. I was having a hard time catching them, so I made it so I fed them in this barnyard. And of course, now we had tons of rain, but they wrecked all these panels. The wire's actually still up. Looks like it's a little loose, so it's at least carrying electric around. So I need to get in here, and we're gonna clean this all up, and we're gonna do this barnyard. Got one post to fix. We're gonna redo this barnyard, and I want to make it, like I said, I want to make it so it's kind of like I really want to make a feedlot that you can clean out the manure from. You know, it's just, to me, it's just wasteful to have a barn or a barn area and feed them and not, you know, not collect. There's a lot of manure in here. And right out here it rains. You know, there's like a hole right here. Water has just made it. Water comes off the roof. Anyway, so if you're gonna be like me and you're gonna do a little bit of plowing and planting and seeding once in a while, which I'm trying to get back into, you know, with this latch so they don't come in the back way. You know, it just makes sense to collect as much manure as you can. We collect the manure from the horses as much as we can, and you know, we collect as much as we can from the cows. We try to get as much as we can out of the barnyard. But the barnyard, the problem is you can't just go hog wild with it. You got to be careful with the barnyard because you get rocks. This is why I want to build a feedlot. Duck down under that thing. That's why I want to build a feedlot, so then I can feed round bales and have a concrete pad or whatever, and go in there, you know, once a week or so with the skid steer tractor and bucket, and just clean it off and put it in a pile. Of course, it's nice to what's going on with the Mic2 here? Got the Mic2 keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. You know, if you want to go in there, clean it off, it'd be nice if you had a place where you go in there, clean it off, and actually put it right in the spreader and go right out and spread it. I mean, that's if I, If I didn't have a full-time job, I definitely would do more of that. And there's probably, we have a brand new spreader last year because I got tired of fixing the old one. And I wanted to try to make use of all these piles that we have around. There's probably 5 loads in here. You know, what's that cover? I don't know, 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre, something like that probably. Depends on how thin you want to put it, I guess. So anyway, that's my video for today. That's your Callicrate Pro Bander. And this is Triple D Farms, and I'm Jared. And stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more from Triple D Farms, Triple D Maple, and Triple D Cabins. Thanks for watching.